Sipping on the flow. Dallas Cowboys on my chest, let the star glow. Bugs got the podcast, speakers on blast. Talking about the game, every moment gon' last. Snaps in the back, bass hitting low. Crowd in the stands, watch the energy grow. Cowboys Nation, ride or die crew. If you doubt the star, we coming for you. Told you so. Yeah, I told you so. When them Cowboys win, everybody know. I told you so. I told you so. From Ruston to Dallas, let the fire blow.
Welcome back. Welcome back. You getting it straight from me. It's the Cowboys. And you know what? You got to notice the differences. Last week, we talked about the changes. This week, we're talking about the differences. So if you're listening to the interviews, have you heard the difference in conversation? Meaning, everybody sounds like Dak Prescott in front of the microphone. In other words, everybody's keeping it cordial, keeping it sharp to the point, and not really letting any type of cat out of the hat. But that's called team unity. They're coming together. There are nobody at odds in when they come to speaking in front of the microphone, in front of the camera. You can't even get Jerry Wayne Jones Sr. to hold an interview, a candid one, in front of the camera this summer. But that's the thing about it. If y'all want a problem, I'm going to bring y'all to a problem. George Pickens will be a problem. No, not off the field, but on the field, you can look forward to George Pickens having the best season of his career. Why shall I say just focus on Pickens and not CeeDee Lamb? If y'all guys looked at Pickens' measurement, 6'3", about 205, 210, he runs a 4.3 40. The things about it is he runs his route with precision. When he's running, because there were times last year Mr. Pickens was lackadaisical on his routes. Yes, I called it out. I'm a real fan. I'm a real fan to notice the rights and the wrongs. Now, being that Pickens have a great year, you have to worry about everything else on the field. Then. You got to worry about your CeeDee Lambs. You got to worry about your Jake Fergusons. And then you got to worry about a position called wide receiver number 3. Well, the media has it to believe that Flannery is the legitimate lock at number 3. I really don't see it like that. Yes, he had a great season last year when CeeDee went down. Yes, the talk was him moving up the depth charts and this year getting a number 3 playing time. But just think about it, guys. The offseason, what has the Cowboys done? Stacked up on wide receivers, not for wide receiver 1 or 2. You got Mingo that we traded for and brought along. What's going on right now? We also got Holden that came from Oregon that's still on the squad. We even got Scatlin, who's 6'3", about 200, run the 4.4 40. And we got Smith. He's a rookie that we got out of East Carolina. I'm not through. Then we got Mims. You guys remember Denzel Mims? We brought him in over from the Jets. We also got another Tyler Johnson, rookie. I think we picked him up from SMU. And we also have Mr. Hudson, another rookie. I'm not through. I'm yet to call out Mr. Turpin. So as you see, you can toss it up in the air for wide receiver number 3. I think that probably is the biggest position battle on the Cowboys offense. But nobody's paying attention to it. I'm bringing you guys light to what you're not looking at. We got 8 people battling for the wide receiver 3 position. Whew, that's danger. You know, they was talking about bringing in the DERRICK. No need to bring in the DERRICK when we got players that are going to work just as hard to get that position. And then you got to look at the offensive roster spot that will be open. You can go ahead and pencil in Mr. Trigg that we drafted out of Baylor. He's going to be an offensive phenom at 6'4", has a catch radius of a 7'2". That's huge. He's going to be on the field. Right now, he's making noise to get that roster spot on offense because it's available. And then another thing that the Cowboys did, you know, our backup number 2 running back. Yeah, we say it's Jaden Blue. But you know, Ricky, I still got questions, and I'm going to bring you guys to that light in just a few minutes, though. But then our offense got to pick up momentum. Don't look for it for the Cowboys starters to play pretty much more than 3 snaps in the preseason. The thing about it is you have to stay healthy in the offseason. Well, this is the offseason, quote, preseason, because we don't start football games until this weekend. But even making it out of camp healthy, that's a problem for a lot of teams. But as far as the Cowboys, we got to make it out of Oxford healthy. And you may not be paying attention to that as much as I am. But that's the thing about it. Getting out of camp healthy. Nobody's paying attention to what's going on in the NFL right now. You look at the Kobe Bryant in Chicago, done for about 3 to 6 months. You look at Puka. Puka went down today in just a little scrimmage against the Cowboys. Stiggers went down. It's a few teams that are hampered by injury, but the Cowboys, we got to make it out of camp without the injuries. Right now, I'm gonna get to the Steele situation. Just stay in line. I got you. I got a lot to talk about that on that situation. But right now, after we come back from this commercial break, give you guys a few minutes to rest, and we're gonna talk about the other side of the ball and a few more things that's going on with the Cowboys in the NFL. Be back with you in about another 35 to 45 seconds.
Introducing the Blue TV mobile podcast vehicle, your studio on the road, anywhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking to upgrade your security detail and even provide you with executive transportation, give District Trading a call today. From Houston to Dallas, Chicago to New York, even Miami to New Orleans, District Trading is there to provide you with the utmost service to protect you and your party. Give District a call today, and don't forget to tell District that Derrick sent you. Hey, it's football season approaching. You want to get your favorite team's gear, college, high school, pro, even a star on your hat. If you want to get a fan, if you want to get a money bouquet, party favors, if you got a class reunion, maybe even just a special event, and you want to get it personalized and customized, give Shell Williams a call today at Custom Pleasures. And hey, if you made an order last week, I want to let you know Shell has your order ready right now. And don't forget to tell Shell that Derrick sent you. Sciatica pain, migraines, can't sleep at night, feet hurt, body just feel all out of position. No matter what age you are, you might have had a strong workout and can't just get the flexibility that you used to have. Got an answer for you. He's certified state to state, parish to parish, county to county. Give Jalen Ferguson a call today at Alpha Performance and Wellness. And don't forget to tell Jalen that Derrick sent you. Well, you stuck on the fence, tired of paying the rent from a high landlord, tired of filling out leases at your current apartment complex, just stuck and don't know what to do about your next apartment or house move. Tell you what, get the edge. Call Jeremy Brooks today. Jeremy can get you set and closed in record days of 5 days. Hey, who's doing that out there today? Tell you what, you want to get it a home today or tomorrow, give Jeremy Brooks a call, and don't forget to tell Jeremy that Derrick sent you. I got one word for you. One word, Rodney. So y'all sit back and enjoy this ride. It's called revelation. Revelation. I told you, the kid did not have an off season last year. He was hurt. He was covered up by the injury because people kept worried about DERRICK. Shall I bring that name back up? Y'all said that, oh, the cornerback position with the Cowboys is trash. True, to a certain extent. You say, oh, we drafted Rebels and he ain't did nothing. Oh, like we wasted another pick. I do that because y'all judge Rebels on a short fuse. All he needed was some snaps. All he had to do was get the game speed under his belt again. Yeah, you know, Rodney. I'm telling the truth. You was one of them. And I told y'all, hold your horses. Keep in mind, and I'm not making excuses, I'm telling the truth. Caleb Carson, no out season last year. Remember, we went and got the kid from Buffalo, whose dad was a former Cowboy. We went and got him. Okay. Then we got Rebels. You guys say, oh, Rebels ain't doing anything. Rebels, again, neither one of them had a preseason or an off season. They was injured. They were learning the game on the fly. That's why we look so bad in that Eberflus defense. But now Rebels has got a little bit of run under his belt. So every time you guys turn on the meter, you see Rebels defending CeeDee Lamb. You see Rebels defending George Pickens. Do you guys know what that means? In practice, he's going against the best. And in practice, he's showing up against the best. So what does that mean, Bugs? That means you need to keep your eye on Rebels. Because I told you, give him time. Just a little bit. Give him time. And he's going to show you what he can do. I bet on Rebels and told y'all to hold up. Oh, y'all saw him when he got in the game. Oh, he was behind people. He was learning as the game went on. Now that he's got in Christian Parker's defense, Mr. Crawford, let me tell you what Rebels possibly will do. All pro, I'm calling it out. If y'all notice, Rebel reminds me of a Sherman that played with the 49ers and with the Seahawks. He reminds me a whole lot of Sherman. He retracts on the ball well. He mans the man with the man. Notice, CD may make a catch or two, but Rebels gonna make a stop or two. Notice, Pickens may snag one out the air, but Rebels will bat a couple of them down. That's PBUs. I told y'all to give Siobhan Rebels time. Ooh, and he developed it. That's scary. We ain't even talking about the backside corner, Deron Bland. Bland didn't have us. I keep repeating every week because I'm reminding you guys. You said Deron Bland ain't what he used to be. He wasn't. He didn't have an off season as well. I'm just giving you facts. Yes, he's long, Roger, and fast. But Bland didn't have an off season. I'm looking for the deep backs for the Dallas Cowboys to shine this year under Christian Parker's system. It's an amoeba type defense. If you guys have never studied science, look at what an amoeba does. It spreads, it fast, and they own you faster than you can think about it. Look at how Barham is showing up in the media as he's back in the backfield, either disrupting Dak's progress or breaking up the runs in the backfield. The defense, shall I say, is going to be superb due to what Jerry has not done in a few years, Mr. Deal. And may you have a speedy recovery from your injuries, and prayers are with you, Mr. Deal. Jerry spent some money on some talent. Not just anybody. He went ahead and signed extended Quinn Williams deal. He'll be with us till around 2020, 2030. That's big. He didn't do that with Parsons. He did it with Quinn Williams because Quinn kept his mouth closed. And when they asked him how does he feel about being a Cowboy, he said he loved to be locked down in Dallas. But that's the thing about playing for the Cowboys. People laugh at us. They talk about us, but they got to love us because we are America's team. And yeah, it's a surprise name you guys don't really know about that deserves a defensive roster spot. Keep this name in mind. Justin Barron, linebacker. Maybe we don't need to trade for no linebacker. Maybe we don't need to wait on the arrivals of a Bobby Wagner once the preseason ends. You know, that's when free agents start to pile up the older free agents. You know, and we're going to jump into the scrimmage today. Mr. Barron had 3 interceptions. Picked off Sam Bradford. Picked off the backup quarterback 2 times. At the linebacker position. I know it's preseason. It was a scrimmage, first competition against the opposite team, but he showed up today. Also showing up today was Mr. Revels, as I said. But 2 people that did not do well today. 2. That's going to be Jaden Blue. Jaden gave up the ball again. Fumbled in a damn scrimmage. Come on, Petey, you're killing me, man. And the other cluster fuck, excuse my French, English, and Spanish, but this is my podcast. Right now, I've been trying to get rid of this man forever. Terrence Steele. Bottom of the toilet water, 44-day-old sewage. And they say Tyler Guyton had a great day today. Terrence Steele, you took a pay cut last year. So understand what I'm saying. It's the fact that we can get rid of your ass at the end of camp. I don't understand how Myles Garrett was not even there. And you still can't get it right. But I've been telling y'all about Terrence Steele for years. This is a damn scrimmage. Myles Garrett wasn't there, and the big boy that they claim gonna return, it's to be known, he wasn't even there. The other defensive end that the Rams traded for Myles Garrett wasn't there. So you mean to tell me you was trash against the scrubs today? We drafted Shelton out of Penn State. So you got to know your personnel. We also got Cornelius out of Oregon. Terrence Steele, you know your ass is on the hot seat and going to be the first foot out the door, a big name. But you have to understand this is how it goes. Terrence Steele, your consistency of bad games is now showing up even before we play a preseason game. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we possibly need to move Tyler Guyton to his natural position of right guard and let old Nate Thomas handle left guard. I would be comfortable with that. Or you can, the guys that we drafted, they're ready to replace Steele at any given call. But that's the thing about it. The offense stalled out today. They made some pretty good plays. Then they stalled out in the scrimmage. The defense came to play. And that's the bottom line. That was what we was looking forward to, a difference in the defense. And you got to believe in change. And that's what the Cowboys are faced with right now. It's change. You got a change in the defense from the front line, the middle core, to the defensive backfield. We have an 85% overhaul change. And the thing about it is, if you don't notice the change, because the media is no longer just trying to figure out any trash on the Cowboys. They're now giving the Cowboys a little credit. Yeah, you're not setting us up for failure. You're honestly telling the truth. And for a change, being honest with yourself, that's why nobody want to speak on the Cowboys. Because they quietly seeing everything come together. Rashawn Gary, Kenny Clark, Quinn Williams, and there's a Raku on the end. You know, my front four done changed all the way around. And the thing about it is, you go to the linebacking core. We don't have Kenneth Murray no more. Out of there. All of them have changed. Justin Barron, keep an eye on him. Defensive backfield. Bell was his name. He's out of there. The kid from Shreveport at safety. He's out of there. It's the changes, it's the differences, is what's happening right now for the Cowboys at the right time. Last year, the differences didn't come until October. Think about it. That's when we got Clowney. That's when we brought back Revels. That's when Carson came back. We waited to October to see some differences. Now, the differences are taking place in July and in August. And that's the thing about it. And I just got to mention the possible cuts. Who are the possible cuts you think, Rodney? Other than Terrence Steele, I think Malik Hooker may be on the cutting wagon. I also think Jaden Blue, you fumble one more time in preseason, your ISIS might be out of there. I'm just giving you three big names. Three big names. Everybody talked about Jaden Blue's speed with no other competition. He got in there today in practice, a scrimmage, and gave the ball up. Son, that's what got you benched last year. But we all want to see him now. We all want to put Blue in the backfield because of his speed. But if you can't hold on to the ball, you're going to be over there on the bench. And then you're going to be up there in the sidelines, up in the stands with me. I'm just telling you. But we're going to have some possible cuts coming up pretty soon. And then in other NFL news, now let's get to talking about everybody else except for the Cowboys, Tank. I told you this ain't the comedy section, bro. This real talk. Kyler Murray is a starting quarterback in Minnesota. Kyler Murray, starting quarterback in Minnesota. I love it. I flat out love it for the kid. Chicago Bears, that injury that you suffered with Kobe Bryant is going to cost you 3 to 6 months. You got to stay healthy. You got to stay healthy. And I'm going to speak on this. I know they're going to say something. The San Francisco 49ers, I don't know how you guys feel right now, because it seemed like that injury cloud cannot get away from y'all. I'm never going to laugh at another team's injuries or try to down, because my team also have the same possible chances of getting injuries. But this is the first 2 weeks of preseason. And the 49ers are hurt. I want the 49ers to have a good season this year, because it's always good conversations with other 5-time Super Bowl champions. Those are the good conversations. The other conversations where you arguing with what one-hit wonders, stop that. You're not on my level. I ain't trying to talk about nobody else's team, but it's a different conversation when you argue with another 5-time Super Bowl champion. Or shall I say, when you argue with someone that has multiple championships. Shots fired. Don't worry about it, Tank. I'm not worried about the 49ers. They trying to heal. Obviously, you're not paying attention to the podcast. The 49ers are suffering from a lot of injuries right now. And that's bad on them because it's just the start of the preseason. Let's talk about Myles Garrett. He's hampered by a few injuries, undisclosed injuries that they really didn't want to talk about. Missed the scrimmage today. Hooker went down with an injury today, tipped away on the sideline. I know, sitting there, I really didn't want to talk about him. I mean, Tank want to come and talk about the Saints because he want to make them relevant. But I don't argue with one-hit wonders. I mean, he can try to stir up something. That's the best that they can do. But you might want to figure out New Orleans Saints about beating the Carolina Panthers. Let's talk about that. Because the Carolina Panthers coming back with the funk. They got a defense now. They had one last year. They got an even better defense with a more experienced Bryce Young and Macmillan combination. The Panthers are going to be something to bargain with in the NFC South. If you want to talk about your team, let's talk about it. We got time today. The Eagle fans ain't going to do too much talking, because when the Eagles lost A.J. Green, they realized they didn't have nobody on the depth chart to replace what they losing. But they falling apart. I told y'all that last year. Tank, you need to quit. Those comments don't even matter no more, Tank. They look over those comments. Yeah, we know it's 30 years since the Cowboys won the Super Bowl. But in those 30 years that we have not won one, we gave the Saints plenty time to catch up. And you still stuck at one. The same number of assholes you got. Make sense? Other team news. Cleveland Browns. You went ahead and paid Deshaun Watson all the money last year. You flipped it into a signing bonus. People are thinking you are making a way for Shedeur Sanders to be the starter. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there's no way you're going to give $35 million away and make him sit on the bench. Being that you have the top pick next year, which you're going to choose your franchise quarterback then, Shedeur may need to play good to get traded. I know it may sound odd, but I hope the kid plays well enough to get traded. You know, because Dylan up there in the AFC, what is it, in the AFC Central? He has to battle Cincinnati. He has to battle Pittsburgh. He has to battle Baltimore. It's going to be tough to make it. They got them boys coming to get you. And Cleveland ain't the place for you. So I'm looking at Shedeur having a good season. I hope to get traded. And we can swing over to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. This will be Aaron Rodgers' last hurrah. Now, will Pittsburgh make a trade to get Shedeur? Probably not. I honestly think Pittsburgh is positioning themselves to play the Baker Mayfield market. Because what people don't understand what Baker Mayfield did by betting on himself, he's probably going to be in the range of a $60 million free agent next year if you have a good year this year. Because pissing off of Baker Mayfield, he makes that 1 year count for him to bet on. He's going to be like a Kirk Cousins. I know Kurt ain't won a big game, but Kurt played well enough to get all his guaranteed money. Pay attention. Baker Mayfield may be practicing or playing and having a good season to be the next quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. You may not like that, but just understand what I'm saying. It makes a lot of sense. Miami Dolphins. I know you're somewhere around here paying attention, Mr. Donald Graham. Don't worry. I'm finna tell you how you guys are going to get a George Pickens. I know they say we freed up $35 million to possibly be the money to pay George Pickens next year. But Jerry Jones maybe got something up his sleeve. Where George balls out this year, Jerry franchises him another year because he had a great year. In Miami Dolphins, you're on the clock to get the best wide receiver or the top wide receiver on the free agent market. Giving y'all a scenario that y'all may want to pay attention to. Jerry's already saying that he's willing to give up the first round pick right now to trade for a defensive end a la Max Crosby. If he does, it works well. They're going to pay Max. Next year, they're going to franchise Pickens again. Trade him, get the first round draft pick back. I'm just giving you the scenario on how it goes. That's how it works. Now you're going to see, remember the chess game I told you Jerry's playing? Chess takes a while to complete. This is not checkers. Nate Belton, you have to trust the process. Yeah, they only offered him a 2-year deal, which was wrong. That's why he betting on himself. And I hope he have a great year. I hope he has an awesome year in the NFC South, which will propel him to go play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It'll be a good fit. Pittsburgh, if you listening, Baker Mayfield will be a perfect fit after Aaron Rodgers. But the thing about it is, knowing your personnel. Y'all want to talk about the Saints? Let's talk about the Saints. Since Tank keep on commenting, it's not comedy, Tank. A lot of people grew up. They pay attention to what the truth is instead of listening to what the yah-yah is. Saints didn't make no improvements. You got a loaded backfield, possibly the trade of Alvin Kamara. The wide receiver you guys got from Arizona State, I know him personally. Good kid. But he in the NFC South, where you got to get through the Carolina Panthers. Y'all don't go to sleep on the Carolina Panthers. Please don't. I don't know why the Saints think they got what they need. No Saint fans, y'all need to focus on what's in front of you. Tampa Bay, Atlanta. Atlanta got two. Atlanta got the best running back in the game, you ask me, Bijan Robinson. Y'all got to continue with them guys. Focusing on what the Cowboys do, it's only a mirror of you guys' wish fountain. A lot of people talk down on the Cowboys, but you know what a lot of people do? They keep that eye on the star. I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm just telling you what I know. Let's move on to another division of football. Let's go over to the NFC West, where you got the San Francisco 49ers, you got the LA Rams, you got the Arizona Cardinals, and you got the defending Super Bowl champ, Seattle Seahawks. That's going to be a tough division. But the battle ain't going to come between Seattle and Frisco. It's going to be between Seattle and LA. And the thing about it, Seattle playing LA is a bigger game than just watching Myles Garrett. Seattle Super Bowl champions, defending Super Bowl champions. Everybody's picking the Rams so far ahead to be in the Super Bowl. I don't see why. Now, if you want to talk about on paper, they took the entire defensive backfield from Kansas City Chiefs. They obtained a Myles Garrett. They may bring back the defensive tackle. But you got an aging Devontae Adams, and you got a pervert who can't keep his hands to himself and Puka Nacua. Where do y'all get the Rams are so urgent to be in the Super Bowl? Because out the NFC West, healthy, I put a 49er team above the Rams. Healthy, I put a 49er team ahead of Seattle, not because they got Deebo Samuel. No. Aaron Donald is coming back. Remember I told you veteran players are possibly they possibly won't report until after all the training camp crap go through. So I look at Aaron Donaldson coming back without a doubt by game 2 or 3. So that's the thing about it. But on paper, look how many people the Rams done got. But you also got to reflect that you got an aging wide receiver you're trying to count on with Devontae Adams. Puka liable to touch somebody and be suspended for 3 or 4 games. Your depth chart. Know your personnel. Now let's go to the NFC East. The best conference in the NFL. You got your Philadelphia Eagles, your New York Giants, your Washington Commanders. New York Giants made a great pickup, but New York Giants overlooked Caleb Downs twice. If anybody can replay what the wide receiver from New York said, oh, we didn't get him, so that means I got to play him twice? He already put fear in his heart. The day Caleb Downs got drafted, beat. Let's go to Philadelphia. Yeah, Philly, you still got your cornerbacks, Cooper DeJean. That's about you still got Jalen Hurts. You still got Saquon Barkley. But you don't have Beck. You don't have Beckham. Your guard that I told you last year when you lost him to San Diego, who's now a free agent. You lost your defensive end. You lost your linebacker. He's in Vegas right now. You lost your defensive back coordinator, passing game coordinator to the Dallas Cowboys. Philly, how are they giving y'all an advantage over the Cowboys? Washington Redskins. Commanders. Let me correct myself. You got a Stephon Diggs, and you guys think that's what's going to change the game for you? You have nobody on the other side of the ball to stop no wide receiver in the NFC East. Wayman Moore, you can say y'all ready because that's the common thing to say in preseason. We all ready. But be real. You're not. You're not. You don't. The Eagles don't trust Jalen Hurts. Losing A.J. Brown was big. The Eagles don't trust Jalen Hurts. You guys are finna run Saquon Barkley in the ground because you don't trust Jalen Hurts. And on to America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, 5-time Super Bowl champion, Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott owns the NFC East. Do you want to keep talking, Wayman Moore? Dak Prescott owns the NFC East with double-digit wins against every team. I got the best quarterback in the NFC East. I didn't say in the NFL to you naysayers and jive turkeys. I said I have the best quarterback in the NFC East. Rain Dakota Prescott. That's my quarterback. I got the best duo at wide receiver in the NFL. Let me repeat that. I have the best wide receiver duo in the NFL. Period. and Cedarian Lamb than George Pickens. Do you want some? I got the best kicker in the NFL. Shall I keep going? I know we hadn't produced nothing on paper. I agree with you. No Super Bowls to show. You are absolutely right, Wayne. But being a 5-time Super Bowl champion, we only look forward to our 6th championship trophy. Will it be this year? There's a possibility. I'm not going to say, the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl. I said there's a possibility. With a healthy Dak Prescott, the NFC East is going to belong to the Dallas Cowboys. With the healthy Dak Prescott, the NFC East will belong to the Dallas Cowboys. Everybody's now quietly shaking in their boots because they want the season to hurry up and get started. Because you know what? The #1 game going to be the first week in football. Everybody going to be tuned in to see what the Dallas Cowboys got on defense. And yes, we do play the Saints in preseason. We ain't playing no starters. So you won't get to see the show. You'll get to see your Phil Marfas, your Trajan Holdens. You get to see people like that. You get to see the backups get snaps. Because going back to the key part of this conversation, you have to remain healthy through training camp to get ready for opening day. And if you don't get that point, you don't get it. I'm not bragging about a kicker. I'm telling you about the best kicker, Tank. I told you, you try to make the show into the conversation to a comedy. I giving you facts, and you can't even give a man facts about that. Facts. Kickers do win games. Kickers break hearts. Shit. You want to keep it real? Adam Vinatieri broke hearts. The kicker for the Dallas Cowboys broke hearts. Ain't gonna keep breaking them. That's why they paid them what they paid. But you can make a joke out the situation. Don't ever make a joke out the truth, because they ain't gonna laugh at me. They gonna laugh at you. On to the AFC South. I'm gonna do the ice bucket challenge soon as some people come back and dump the ice on me. I'm gonna do it for Y2K. That was a bad man back in his day. But the AFC South is gonna belong to the Houston Texans. What's going on, Mike? I'm going to give it to the Texans. Tennessee's not going to compete. Jacksonville, I don't care who they got playing both sides of the ball. They don't have enough to battle with the Houston Texans. I just see it like that. You may want to argue. Do that on your own terms. And we go to the AFC West. You got Kansas City. Return of Mahomes. You got San Diego. You got Denver. And you got Vegas. Sean Payton gonna win the AFC West. He probably gonna get Taysom Hill as well to bring him along. But you can kind of book it. Sean Payton is going to be the king of the AFC West as long as he has the head coaching position in Denver. I've covered pretty much the whole NFL nation. There's plenty of teams that still need a free agent or two. You can expect the free agent role to pick back up possibly in about another week and a half. I hate to see him going through it as well, because having MS and thinking about people dealing with ALS, they can't do anything. You know, he's mute. He has to conversate through a computer that his eyes do the work for him. You know, CK2K was a bad man. But like I said, I'm gonna do the ice bucket challenge. I got my ice bucket down now. I got the ice. As soon as, you know, probably next week I might do it. But also, I told you guys I'm going to the Star in 2 weeks when the Cowboys return for practice. We got an open practice there at the Star. Now, if you have a favorite team, I no longer will argue with you if you have never attended practice of your favorite team. So I don't care who you're a fan of. I go to my team practices. I go to my team home games. It's not my fault you're a Saints fan and you moved to Dallas. You should have moved to New Orleans. And Tank, that's a millionaire talking to me. So why are you worried about his comments? I know him very well. A great guy. So I know who's speaking to me, Tank. Don't do that. Michael Bolton is a millionaire. So I have good people that reach in on my podcast and watch the things and pay attention to the things that I say. What's good, Cottonham? So a lot of people want to get distracted about what the Cowboys got going on. Focus on the words that I'm telling you. You can turn to Stephen A. Stephen A. done had a sip of that lemonade. Stephen A. quietly is a believer. A lot of the ESPN media outlets now are a believer, except one person, two people, Dan Orlovsky and the chick with the blonde hair. She's an Eagles fan. And taking the comments coming from Eagle fans on judging Cowboys, that lets me know they are fixed on being Eagle fans. But like I say, you can tell me who you want to say you're going to be in the Super Bowl next year, and I can tell you who I think will be in there. Of course, I think my team could make it. You didn't hear the words that I said. I said I think my team can make it. Everybody know we have the most prolific offense in the NFL. And all you waiting to do is see, do we have a defense? And like they said, all we need is a smidget of a defense. Just a smidget. The Cowboys going to raise hell. Now, again, it's a 17-week season. And we have to take it one game at a time. So that's my motto all season, ladies and gentlemen. One game at a time. Now, Rodney, I'm not going to be forecasting the game 2 weeks down the road. First on the agenda is the New York Football Giants. One game at a time. A guy came in. What y'all think y'all going to do against Baltimore and Rio de Janeiro? I don't know. I need to focus on one game at a time. And that go for the rest of you guys. You can hate on the Cowboys. But before you hate on the Cowboys, make sure your team has more than 5 Super Bowl trophies in history. Make sure your team is actually a team people talk about. Make sure your team is relevant. I ain't say what team shouldn't do it. I just said make sure your team is relevant. But tune in. I'll be back next week, possibly from the same booth. But I know in 2 weeks, I will be broadcasting from Frisco at the Star. Cowboys be home for practice. Roderick Caesars, I'll meet you out there at the Star. Right now, I'll meet y'all at the Star. Lattimore, I'll meet y'all at the Star. Cowboy fans, see, Roderick Caesars is a Saints fan, but he show up at Cowboy events. Undercover Cowboys fan. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I thank y'all for paying attention. We're going to touch bases again next week. So keep your head up and your prayers up. And guess what? How about them Cowboys? Yeah, buddy. It was the truth. And y'all tune in on YouTube. You get to catch the commercials all in action.
We take the show on the road. Live, record, stream, everywhere.
Get the numbers up. You ain't got to get the numbers up because a lot of y'all don't support a lot of people. Just ask y'all to support me. Go to YouTube, click like and share. Love y'all. Thank y'all for sitting with me. What's going on, Melissa? And I'll talk to y'all again. Peace out. How about them Cowboys?
I told you so. This is exactly